stories like this at bbc.com/real. This is BBC News with the latest headlines for viewers in the UK and around the world. I'm Lisa Sharma. President Trump and his wife Melania are both suffering from mild symptoms of the coronavirus after testing positive. They are now self-isolating.
The President and the First Lady tested positive for COVID-19. They remain in good spirits. The President does have mild symptoms.
I'm Laura Trevelyan, live in Washington, where the president's positive coronavirus test has scrambled the race for the White House with just 32 days to go.
The president's diagnosis comes after one of his closest aides, Hope Hicks, also tested positive for COVID-19. We'll take you through every aspect of the story. And we'll bring you the latest international reaction as well as leaders send messages wishing the president well.
We all want to send our best wishes to the President and the First Lady, and I'm sure that they'll both stage a very strong recovery.
We'll have the latest on how global markets have reacted. In the US, the Dow Jones fell by around 1% on opening trade. Hello and welcome to BBC News. If you're joining us here in the UK or around the world, do stay with us for the latest news and analysis from across the globe. With that news that President Trump and his wife Melania have gone into quarantine in the White House after testing positive for COVID-19. Being told that the president is experiencing mild symptoms. Mr. Trump, who's often downplayed the virus and seldom uses a mask, said they would get through it together. Here's Mark Meadows, White House Chief of Staff, who told reporters what measures have been put in place.
We've tested all of our core staff, and I can tell you that Mr. Kushner, Mr. Scavino, myself, a number of us have been tested, have come back with negative results, and yet at the same time, I fully expect that as this virus continues to go on, other people in the White House will certainly have a positive test result, and we've got the mitigation plan in place to make sure that the government not only continues to move forward, but the work of the American people continues to move forward.
Well, that update from Mark Meadows came about an hour ago, and he said he is optimistic the president will make a speedy recovery. Vice President Mike Pence and the Supreme Court nominee Amy Coney Barrett are also among those who have tested negative for the virus. And a little while ago, the First Lady Melania Trump took to Twitter. She wrote she is thankful for the love that you are sending our way. She said, I have mild symptoms, but overall feeling good. Now that she too is looking forward to a speedy recovery. Well, in the next hour, we'll be looking at this from all angles of reaction from America across the world. And we'll also be asking what the news means for the US election campaign and indeed for global markets. But first, let's go live to Washington and get the latest from our colleague there, Laura Trevelyan. And Laura, Americans still digesting this news, very unsettling and uncertain times ahead.
Absolutely. Well, one thing we know is there is a frantic contact tracing operation underway at the White House. Everybody who has come into contact with the president and the first lady in the last week has to be tested. And what a schedule the president has had. He was in Cleveland for that presidential debate on Tuesday. So his rival for the presidency, Joe Biden, has to be tested this morning. we've just learned that Republican Senator Mike Lee of Utah, who's on the Senate Judiciary Committee and is helping to shepherd the nomination of Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court through Congress, he has tested positive. He was at the White House last Saturday with the president, with Amy Coney Barrett, when her nomination was unveiled. So really unsettling times here. We are told that the president is on the job and will remain on the job. This hour, in about 15 minutes, in fact, he is due to host a phone call at the White House on the topic of COVID-19 and vulnerable seniors. This, as the president himself has been infected with the virus, is age 74 and is thought to be at risk because of his age and also the fact that he's overweight. So very dramatic, all of this, with just 32 days to go until the election. Here's my colleague, Peter Bowes.
A bombshell like no other. Hello, Mark. Hello, Mark. Can you hear me? I cannot hear you, Mark. Hello?
Yeah, hello. Right.
What is going on? A month before the presidential election, Donald Trump and his wife Melania, the First Lady, have tested positive for coronavirus. It followed the news that one of his closest advisors, Hope Hicks, has the disease. She experienced symptoms of COVID-19 while accompanying the president at a rally in Minnesota. She was quarantined on the presidential plane back to Washington.
Hello?
Earlier this week, she traveled to Cleveland in Ohio with Mr. Trump for the presidential. How are you?
Hey. Oh, yeah. Hello. Finally. So, yeah, thanks. I'm pretty fine. Today we had a control test at the physics lesson. It was really hard, but I think I passed well. Waiting for the results.
Okay, I'm just raising. So you mean that it was the test in English?
No, of course not. I'm in the 7th form right now, and in the 7th form, we started learning the physics. And today, we had a test, control test, and I think that I passed it well.
Is it the old Russian, the national test?
Not at all. And you know, it's not the VPR.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, we're studying a material, and our teacher decided to make a kind of control test in our class. And I'm just waiting for the results.
All right, good. So, how about the latest news? What is new?
So, I heard that Donald Trump and his wife got coronavirus. Yeah, everyone is talking about that. I don't know why it's so important, but okay. So, what I've heard too is, yeah, some news about rappers, yeah, some gaming trailers. That's kind of news that I prefer to watch.
I understand. So let's talk bit by bit about everything what you said. So first of all, if you follow the news, what happened to
the Trump's family, I mean the First Lady and Mr. President, they have the so-called asymptomatic corona, which is like almost anybody can be contracted, they can contract or be contaminated with this disease. But the meaning is that they do not experience like high fever or difficulties in breathing or some kind of pneumonia. No, it's just like they are positive. The meaning is that they have the virus in their body, but yet they do not have kind of a bad symptoms. It's asymptomatic. The meaning is that probably many people suffered already coronavirus. Maybe you already were sick with coronavirus, but you didn't feel that, or I don't know. That's I don't think that people know very well everything
Yeah,
about
I
it.
heard that someone said that, you know, children take it more easy than adults.
Yeah, that's correct. Right. So,
Um,
yeah,
by the way, if you want, I can turn on my camera.
no, it's not necessary because you know, the connection is very poor. And I, all the time I have complaints from the students I have classes with. I would prefer to turn off my video, but you know, it's just kind of when you do not have a teacher in the class, it's kind of a not very good for the picture, just only for the sake of the picture. All right. Well, of course, the main idea of our classes is to learn some English, and so that is why I just want to teach you a couple of phrases. So when you have somebody ill or sick, what would you say to them?
I didn't really understand the question. Sorry.
Um, all right, I will write it for you. So just wait a second. And I will share the screen with you. Just, so, go ahead.
So, when somebody is sick, yeah, I heard another word, but okay.
That's why I use the British word is ill.
No, it's okay. I prefer both languages. American English is good as well as English, so I don't see a really big difference between them. Oh well, first of all, um, what I would say to them is not to worry about that because I need to say something positive to them. Because if you imagine that, you know, that you have coronavirus, you knew that you have a coronavirus, and what would be your first reaction? And you need to how to say that?
You said you will say something positive. What's this?
Yeah, I mean, support. Yes, support. Sure, support the person because not make him to make him not to give up in this situation and not to be confused about that.
You know that the presidents of the world, um, what did they say to Mr. President Trump and his wife. What do you think?
Truly, I don't know.
Okay, so that's I just want to use exactly the words which they use. So, for example, Boris Johnson from United Kingdom, he said that he wishes full and speedy recovery. Full and speedy recovery. So, for example, God forbid, you are sick. I will say to you, I wish you full and speedy recovery. And this is a little bit formal, and we also have a little bit informal phrase, which is get well soon. It's almost the same meaning, speedy recovery, but that's the first is formal, the second is informal. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's go on. So I think that the biggest news during this week was the presidential debate. Have you followed the debates?
Debates. What I think about debates between Trump and whom?
Joe Biden.
Yep, sure. So, I think that Trump has to win at the election, because if he does not, United States as a country just will die. Yeah, you know, all this, Black Lives Matter, tolerance to LGBT, tolerance to LGBT person is okay, but in United States, it's not okay because it's grew in something, I'd say, mad, because they don't want to they don't want to know others' opinions of other people. Also, if you are not agree with them, you are not right, and all stuff like that. And the main problem that Trump, he's trying to solve this problem, to fight against this, and Biden, he support all this stuff, and only because of Trump, United States are still exists.
Very interesting, very interesting point of view, but that's okay. So hopefully, like you said, President Trump will win the elections over again. So the last question about the news is, how about the elections? What do you know about the elections in Russia and in the United States of America? Are they the same or different?
Of course, they're different.
In what way? How are they different?
Yeah, they're different in a way that, in United States, they can have a really big arguments between each other, who will be the next president. And in Russia, they won't have an argument like that, because we know who is going to be the next president in the next 4 years.
I'm not asking. I'm not a politician. I'm not asking about that. I'm a teacher of the English language. So in every point, in every item of my class, I'm trying to learn and teach a little bit of language or a little bit of cultural differences. So talking about the elections, we can say that in Russia, the elections are direct, and in the United States of America, they are, excuse me, indirect. What's the meaning of that? So, what is the direct elections or popular elections? For example, your homeroom teacher, you understand homeroom teacher? No?
I I heard homeless teacher.
Homeroom.
Homeroom teacher. Yeah. Is it like repetitor?
No, it's or in the Russian language you say the teacher who is responsible is in charge of your group of your students. Like what is the name of the group of your students you study at? Is it 7A or 7B or what?
7A, of course.
7A, of course. 7A. Okay, so and you have a homeroom teacher for 7A. What is your name? So you have a homeroom for the class.
You mean like классный руководитель?
Yes, in English it's homeroom teacher. So you have a homeroom and a homeroom teacher. So let's say that you have a homeroom meeting. Make sense to you? Homeroom meeting?
Yeah.
So, and the teacher asks or makes some suggestions, like, for example, do we need to buy flowers for the classroom? And then she says, let's vote. And you vote like you raise your hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the teacher will calculate. She will say that, let's say, out of 35 students, 30 students are in favor for buying flowers, and 5 students are against, are not in favor, are against this motion. Motion means proposal or suggestion. Okay? So this is the direct vote. In America, it's not like that. It's indirect. You have 2 levels of vote. If you think of the year 2016, who were the candidates?
Donald Trump.
And?
What was her name?
Hillary Clinton.
Yep, right.
Hillary Clinton. So, Hillary Clinton made the majority of the votes. Like, some people say that she was ahead of Mr. Trump, like, let's say, 3 million votes more. Some people say 5 million votes more. And still she lost. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How can that happen? Okay, let me just show you a little bit. So, if you can see my screen, let me just, yeah, I think that you can see my screen. So, this is the next level of votes in the United States of America. This is called the Electoral College. It's very difficult to understand, but let's say every state, and you have states here, has representatives or votes. representatives of two parties, of Republican and Democratic. Like, this is the state of California. They have 55 voters or representatives of these two parties. So people bring their ballots, bring their votes, not directly to the president, but they bring to these representatives. And then the representatives vote for president. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, a bit.
So why do you think they have these two levels of votes? Why?
You know, to make election more, to make election more, you know, справедливых, честных.
Fair, honest, objective.
Yeah, to make elections to be more honest,
Honest,
to see the real
fair.
results,
Yeah.
not fake.
Let me just give you the vocabulary over again. So the first word what we said is fair, or it's another word for the word just, from justice. You know the word justice. Justice is fairness, fair enough. When you say that the election should be fair, should be just. Okay, so then the second word is, you said honest, and I added they should be objective. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So well, but you know, the point is that if you go back to the map, you know that lots of people in America, they live in cities. Let's say that the biggest population live in 11 biggest cities. Like, let's say New York is maybe, I don't know, 17 or 19 million people. So the meaning is that if you do the direct vote, like I said, in your homeroom, in your school, then the only task which you have is to get the majority in these cities, and then you will win the elections in whole America. But they have, for example, this is the state of Montana. They have very few population there. It's just like, let's say, to compare, with maybe 4 million people. That's a very big state, but nobody lives there. So in order to make it balanced, they did what I said. Okay, and then the elections are a little bit more fair, like you said, more honest, more objective. Make sense?
Yeah, right.
So if you want,
Yeah, you know, we should have the same system in Russia. You know.
no. It's just like okay, you reminded me about another news. Yeah. So the next news you reminded me of is that probably you remember that beginning with the year 2020, they wanted to make mandatory Russian national exam in English. Do you remember that? It should be obligatory. The meaning is that everybody should take this exam in the 11th grade. It's for everybody. It's a must to take the English exam. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Right now in September they cancel. You will not have this exam in English anymore. It's just, if you want to, you can take English, but it's not like Russian and mathematics. They wanted to do it like Russian, mathematics, and English for everybody. But then they refused. They canceled it. Why? Because Russia has their own language, like Russian language. And when you say that we should have the same system like in America, no, we are Russians. Why would we have the same system? That system was created for the Americans, not for the Russians. Why would we take it? It's just like instead of Russian language, I will say, no, speak only English, always. It will be strange, right? If you want to, you can speak English, but not obligatory, not mandatory, okay?
Yeah, I see your point. And, you know, it's pretty logical, by the way.
All right, so that's about the latest news. And if you remember, we haven't finished. We have only 9 minutes to go. We haven't finished the listening part, if you remember that. What was that? Question 6 or question 7?
It was question which the best describes his reason. It was the 6th, yeah.
Okay, let's start with the 6th question. And do you remember your answers? I mean the previous answer, because probably I have my notes somewhere, but I'm not sure.
Eat it. You need to be polite. It could be one of their national dishes.
Okay, can you hear the sound?
Yeah, he said that it could be one of the national dishes.
Yeah, but I'm not sure whether this is 6 or 7. Okay.
2, take it easy. Eat too fast, and you might find that you get some more. And 3, pretend you're eating something you like.
I have to say that I found your book very amusing. From the title, I thought it was going to be some sort of medical textbook, so I was pleasantly surprised. Is there another book in the pipeline?
Yes, but the next one will be totally different. My editor wanted me to do a follow-up, again based on my experiences, things that almost led to diplomatic incidents. And I had thought about doing a sort of guidebook for businessmen who travel abroad, etiquette in different countries. But I've recently become interested in the origins and rationale behind the consumption of food in different countries. So that's what it'll be about.
Okay, so what is the answer here?
So, as I heard in the 6th, okay, it will be informative. And in the 7, I didn't hear the 7.
All right, I prepared for you to read about that. So I know that you prefer reading to listening. It's much easier for you to read. Okay, so just start from here. I can make it bigger if you want. Start from here.
So what advice would you give to someone in a situation where something is put in front of them and they don't want to eat? I'd say 1, don't not eat it. You need to be polite. It could be one of their national dishes. 2, take it easy. Eat too fast and you might think that you get some more. And 3, pretend you're eating something you like.
So you remember that they were talking about the national dish, like turtle eggs, raw turtle eggs. They were fishy and extremely unpleasant. Or, you know, the very difficult smell, or even repulsive, you know. If you remember this word, repulsive, right? It's here.
Yeah, отвратительный.
Something like that. So, what is the answer? Okay, let me just show you the questions back. 6. Which, no, that's which advice to give, and you said informative. Okay, let's go on and read further on. This is not the question 6, that's question 5, and I got confused. Please go ahead, read some more.
So, which word best describes his recent books? It's not entertaining.
Just read first. Go ahead, read.
So I have to say I found your book very amusing. From the title, I thought it was going to be some sort of medical textbook, so I was pleasantly surprised. Is there another book in the pipeline?
Okay, so which word best describes his recent book?
I think that I can decide between informative and factual.
No, it's of course definitely that's neither the first word nor the second, because she said the book is very amusing. Amusing meaning entertaining.
You're right. Yeah. What? I'm using. I thought, you know, I'm using it means like useful.
Amusing. That's entertaining. Yeah. You have to learn the vocabulary. So you just write it down. To amuse somebody. Amusing. Like usually, you know, a puppet can be very amusing. Okay. And so the go ahead.
So, what would be the most appropriate? Yeah, title.
Appropriate means suitable.
Yeah, наиболее подходящее for his next book. So, yes, but the next one will be totally different. My editor wanted me to do a follow-up again based on my experiences. Things that almost led to diplomatic incidents. And I had thought about doing a sort of guide book for businessmen who travel abroad. It took wood in different countries, but I've recently become interested in the origins and rationale behind the consumption of food in different countries. So that's what I'll be about.
So what do you think?
Yeah, a businessman guide to China.
To China? All right, we will check the answers. So first of all, the vocabulary is always follow up. What is that?
Can you repeat again?
I'm talking about the vocabulary from this passage which you read. Follow up. What is that?
Follow up. So, as far as I understand, follow up, it means, you know, like level up.
No, follow up means the continuation. It's just like you follow something. For example, they are talking about the first book. Follow up will be the second book, which will follow the same idea. So my editor wanted me to do a follow-up, the continuation of the first book, again, based on my experiences, things that almost led to diplomatic incidents. And I had thought about doing a sort of guidebook for businessmen who travel abroad. Etiquette, the pronunciation is etiquette. It's the same word in Russian, etiquette in different countries. But I've recently become interested in the origins and rationale behind the consumption. Consumption means how much food people eat in different countries. So that's what it will be about. So your answer is A Businessman's Guide to China. And
Yeah.
you do not have answers to the beginning, right?
Mhm.
You don't remember that? Okay, I will tell you that for question 6, the answer is entertaining. And for question 7, the answer is food through the ages, because he would write about consumption of food in different countries. All right, I'm very happy to see you over again. And that's it for today. Thank you so much. And hopefully I will see you next week. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye.